Hey there! I thought I'd put together this video to kind of walk through the teacher side of classrooms. If you have any specific questions, please let me know. I'd be very happy to see what I can do to help you. So when you enter Classroom, of course, you're in Stream. This is where the students go when they enter as well. So on the side, that's where they'll see any due dates you've set. And then anything you post is going to show up here. You can also write like an announcement here to share with your class. The students can also type in here. Other than that, that's Stream in a nutshell. So students need to be directed to go to classwork because that's the most important tab. And this is also where you will create your assignments. So in classwork, there's a few different types of assignments. So you click create and there's an assignment, quiz assignment, so a Google form, a question, so this is just one simple question with short answer or multiple choice as the response. Material, something you want the students to view or read. Reuse post, this is irrelevant for new teachers to Google Classrooms. This is more like if you taught a class last semester and you want to use a post from that class, you can bring it from that class into this class. And then topic, this is just if you want to pre-make all your topics. So maybe you're going to study going to the doctor, then the dentist, then nutrition. You could put in all those topics in advance, but really you can just add your topics as you create assignments as well. And I'll show you that. So let's start with just a general assignment and see those options. So to create an assignment, first you put a title, then you put the instructions you want your students to follow, and then you have two options for how to attach the assignment. So you can go to your Google Drive if you have docs in there you want to include. You can attach a link. So one thing that some people have done is linked their files from their OneDrive here, and then that way you can use any files you've stored in the Microsoft OneDrive. You can just use a file, so maybe you have files on a USB or on your computer, and then you can just open file and then find the file and attach it. And then there's the YouTube option if you want a YouTube video to be put right into the assignment. Now likely what most people are going to do is click File or Link or Google Drive, because usually when you're making an assignment you have questions you want to ask. So anyways, you will pick one of those options if you have something pre-created, or you can go to Create, and here you're going to create something that will store in your Google Drive. So you can choose to do a doc, so like a Word doc, slides, some sort of slideshow, sheets like Excel, drawings or forms, which is a quiz. But if you're going to make a quiz, you may as well just click quiz assignment because then it already attaches. So if you want to just create an assignment right away in this window, you click Docs and it says creating, and it opens in a separate tab. So just to show you here, you've got the classroom here, and here's your separate tab. I'm unfortunately zoomed out very much because I was doing something earlier. Anyways, okay. So it'll open like this, and here you're going to type your questions. You really don't need to pay attention to too much of this fancy stuff, but I'll point out a few things. So here's your font selection. Here's your font size, bold, italic, underline, font color, highlighter. If you want to insert a link, here you can insert an image. You can upload, so take a photo from your computer, or you can search the web, which is actually great. It's an excellent way to just put a photo right in. You can search for an image, and whichever one you like, just drag it. And then you can resize it by clicking on it and then pulling it in or out. And you can move it around very easily too. See? Ta-da! So that's nice. Because in Microsoft Word, it's usually not that easy. Okay. Here to do a different alignment. This is your line spacing, numbered lists, bullets, and then if you want to change your indentation. So that's really mostly what you're going to need. And then you can create your assignment. So, I mean, so for example, here's just a sample assignment. You'd probably include more information about competencies and such, but anyways, now here your students are going to apply. So you're finished. Now, we can give it a title. How was your weekend assignment? And it's saving in my Google Drive, specifically the folder for my class. So you're good, it's saved. So now that you've finished that, you can actually just close it. And it's already there. I know it says Untitled Document right now, but that's just because it just hasn't loaded that in this part. It will save more properly. So anyways, I'm gonna add a title just because it doesn't let me move on unless I do. So you would have your instructions, and then what's probably most practical for you is to change this to make a copy for each student, because in that way they will all have an individual copy. If you do view, they can't edit. If you do students can edit, then that means every single student's writing on one doc. So if this is an assignment, most likely you need to put make a copy for each. All right, you're gonna leave this because you're assigning it to your class, all students. Choose how much points it's out of. And then here you're gonna pick the due date, so maybe Friday. You don't necessarily have to do time, but if you click time, it automatically does midnight, which is kind of typical. And then here you can pick a topic if you'd like. You can create the topic and choose what it's about. And then if your rubric is separate, you can attach it here. Now when you go to the top, it says assign, but there's actually an arrow here that you can select to either save it as a draft. So maybe you just aren't quite finished with this. You want to save it as a draft and finish it for later. Or you can schedule it for to be assigned at a certain date and time. So maybe you don't want it to show up right now. Maybe you want it to show up tomorrow morning. Then you would schedule it for tomorrow morning. Or if you want to assign it immediately, click assign. So now in classwork, it's showing up right at the top because it's the most recent assignment. And now the students will see that it is when it is due and that they need to complete it. Also, if I did put this under a topic, then the little subtitle would show up with the topic name and it would be under that topic. Okay? So if I click on it now, see how it did name. So like I was mentioning earlier, it said untitled, but once you assign it, it will show up properly. So now I can click and see view, and this is where I'm going to find out details about it. As students submit it, I'll find information. And that's an example of creating an assignment. Let's do a quiz one as well, just because I have had some questions about that. So now let's do a quiz assignment. So let's just do something about, I didn't think of a good sample. How about food, like fruit. All right. So you put in your instructions and then look, there's already a quiz form. So you're going to click to open it and it's going to open in a separate tab. You're going to click on the words blank quiz to change it. And then you're going to write a little description about what this quiz is about. Now, here's your first question. So, untitled question, which fruit is yellow? Now, multiple choice is like the default, but you can pick different things. So if I'm doing a multiple choice, I'm going to start by adding my options. Now, I put the first option in, now I can click here to do add option. Alright, so let's say there's 3 options. So here we go, I got orange, apple, banana. If I don't like these options, I can click X and remove it. And then for the answer key, click answer key to make sure the quiz knows which one is yellow. Banana, yay. And if you want, you can do answer feedback. So if you're setting it up to be automatically marked, you can add some feedback that the student will see once it's graded. You can click done. So now the quiz knows that banana is the right answer. Here you can do required or not. So if the student doesn't know the answer and they don't click anything, this is basically if you click required, they won't be allowed to submit the quiz unless they answer something. If you put not required, then they don't have to answer it for them to submit the quiz. And then if you want, you can add an image to your quiz. So depending on your level, you might want to add some visual, and then you could put a picture of the fruits. And once again, it's going to open an option where you can either upload or you can immediately take a picture with your webcam, or you can do a Google image search over here, which would be pretty cool. So you search up here for the image and then click it and select it. So for example, banana. So once I click it, a little thing comes up that says insert, and when I click insert, it's going to go in my quiz. But let's say I want to do a checkbox. So now they're just going to check. And then this is great because if you want them to give you more than one answer, they can check all of the applicable ones. Or maybe you want to do drop down. So now these are the drop down options. Basically, they're going to click and they're going to pick number 1, 2, or 3 and then select it, and then it will be their answer. So there, as you can tell, like there's tons of different questions. If you have more questions about the different quiz questions, do let me know. I can thoroughly go through this. So once you've added all of your questions, which by the way, I guess we do need to add more, don't we? So there's this little plus sign. You click that to add another question and just continue clicking it to as many questions as you want. Once you have all your questions, then you can click send, and then actually, no, sorry. You don't need to do anything. The quiz is set up. You're not going to send it because you're not sending the quiz only, you're sending the whole assignment. So I'm just going to change this to fruit quiz as well so it has the title. So this is saved in your Google Drive, and just like with the doc, you can actually just close it because it says all changes saved. So now in your classwork, the quiz is here. And just like with the assignment, you keep this for your class, all students, change the points if you want, make a due date, make a time. You can do a topic if you want, you can attach a rubric, and then you're clicking assign, which you can either schedule or you can save as a draft for later or just assign immediately. So here it is. It's now been assigned, and you can come back to classwork and take a look and see what students have done so far. So that was a little walkthrough of quiz and of assignment. Do let me know if you have other questions. I did a little walkthrough of those because I know they're kind of the most popular. But if you want to know more about creating assignments, like questions, posting material, or if you want to learn more about like the grading, I'm all for trying to help you out with that and creating videos or whatever content you'd like. So do let me know. I'm happy to help. Take care. Bye.